Welcome to this presentation. In this video we will talk about how you can do creative trend research. Trends come in many shapes and sizes, from small trends in your social groups to macro trends like sustainability. But creative trend research is about synthesizing new trends from intuition. So how do you do that? First, let's find out what trends are. In the present you can perceive a lot of information about topics that can be the basis for a trend. Relating the information that you perceive today to the known norms of the past can show changes that can hint on a trend. Ultimately, it's a guessing game what the future is going to look like. But expertise and diversified data can substantiate claims about trends. The more evidence for it, the more momentum it has moving into the future. Many trends together can create a future vision, which is essential for effective road mapping. So let's get into some ways to spot trends. Visual trend spotting is about finding weak trends in things like fashion or style. Weak trends cannot be found in data and therefore have to be found out in the field through impressions. Street spotting is a form of visual trend spotting which relies on gathering information from observations in the popular places in the public domain. Many trends start off weak and later become strong when they get adopted by the general public. Some individuals, which are often in high regard in their social status, start these weak trends. They are called trendsetters. Profiling these individuals and tracking them is a good way to find future trends. Social media spotting is a new way in which visual trend spotting can be done. It is similar to street spotting and trendsetter profiling, but exclusively in the social media domain. Many people call themselves influencers nowadays as a form of self-proclaimed trendsetter. Businesses endeavor in a constant systematic scanning of their environments to find relevant trends. Early identification and fast response are very important in this process. Therefore, scanning beyond the expected and anticipating the unexpected are vital. Strong trends, on the other hand, are measurable. These trends are substantiated by evidence and measured through collected data points pointing in a specific direction to the future. An excellent way to get to know about such trends is through speaking with research experts on the topic. These experts have collected a lot of data through research and analysis and can make informed claims about strong trends. In contrast to weak trends, strong trends can be validated by verifying claims against their supporting data. And also there are usually multiple experts on the same fields which can devalidate the supposed trends. To assist in the search for relevant trends outside the direct domain of a company, DPEST is a useful tool. Checking a specific research field for the demographic, ecological, political, economical, social, and technological trends help to get a better knowledge of the company's macro environment. Let's look at some examples. HelloFresh is a company that delivers meal boxes to your home. That puts them in a very diverse macro position with many trends to keep track of and anticipate. There is a lot of pressure on companies in the industry to come with more sustainable alternatives and prevent long-distance shipping and reduce food waste. The most important ways that are relevant to HelloFresh are proximity foods and food waste reduction. Another trend is the option to personalize everything. Think of supplying ingredient restrictions to satisfy customers that are constrained by a specific diet, scheduling when you want to receive your meals, and adapting the meals to changing household sizes. Do-it-yourself, or DIY, is also a relevant trend to HelloFresh. They make sure that they communicate that you are still the cook of your own food because the trend is to do so. Of course, there are many more trends in the food industry. New ingredients becoming more or less popular because of newly found health effect, seasons, or ungraspable hype. And as a last example trend for HelloFresh, there is the focus on the experience of food. Sharing your dinner with someone and finding new culinary experiences. Those of you who know HelloFresh probably recognize some of these trends and that HelloFresh actively engages in them. But when these trends weren't known yet to the general public, HelloFresh already had to find them and anticipate them. So next, we're going to look at 4 methods to synthesize trends from intuition. Trend view is the easiest way to find a trend. It is about being open to impressions in the relevant context. This can be done by an individual without any expertise. Those who have successfully found trends in the past, however, have more credibility. One common place nowadays to do trend viewing is on social media, because it is very accessible and gives insights into many people's activities. Here you could find out that people have stronger diet preferences, because they share more articles about these topics. The discussions that unfold on these platforms are also very relevant and show what is important to people. By following what certain influential people are talking about is a good way to predict what will be important to many of their followers. When you have then perceived these impressions, you attempt to synthesize them into trends by creating trend cards for each of them. You then rank order them by impact and cluster them into scenarios to create a vision for the future. The next approach to creative trend research is called trend topics. Compared to trend views, it is more about capturing information in the industry, in relevant social events, by taking photos and documenting. Visiting trade fairs, where representatives from companies are showing their projects, could be an excellent source to capture tendencies to show sustainability. And in a food convention, you might capture the word superfoods to be all over the place, or that insects are being mentioned as sustainable protein alternatives. Or maybe you visit a tech convention, where you find that companies like Spotify are putting more emphasis on personalization for their customer. When you get enough relevant data captured, you can start clustering these into trends by giving them an overarching name. These clusters can then be used to create a vision for the future again. Trend scenarios is our third approach. It is similar to trend views in the sense that it is about getting a feeling for what's going on. The difference is that it's mostly done through interviews and workshops with relevant stakeholders involved. Through workshops, you attempt to reperceive initial trends. You bring the experts together and try to get a ranking of the most relevant trends, often assisted by DPEST. The most relevant trends are chosen as the scenario drivers to envision the future. Trend pattern is the last and most thorough way to conduct your research. It is about full immersion into the topics and creating patterns. You start off by immersing yourself in the relevant context by reading articles and observing the context for a period of time. You create a watch list of relevant sources to stay up to date on. When doing this immersion, you should always have relevant research questions in mind that you are trying to answer so that you pick up on the relevant information. Next to that, you also conduct benchmark research to find companies that have the same goal and what they are doing to achieve it. Then we combine the research and take the relevant information from the overlap of both research sources. In these overlap areas, you will find many clusters of information, which you will name as the last step for synthesizing your trends. However you have gotten your trends, you want to map them out into the future for when you will act on them to attain your future goal. That is the first step for effective road mapping. We hope that you enjoyed this video. We encourage you to ask yourself, how can I implement these techniques? Which of these techniques should I choose? Keep in mind that each method has their uses. Thanks for watching.